Jim Neidhart, he got into a legal wrangle with an air stewardess at US Air because apparently she claimed Jim assaulted her on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember of what was said and the lawsuit? Tell me everything you know about it.
Okay, I was there. I think they're coming into Cleveland, Columbus, someplace in Ohio. And Jim coming from Tampa, and actually Jim needed a couple cocktails to relax. So he had his up in the overage container. We used to have the stacks of free drink things from the U.S. Air. So evidently, obviously, it was on U.S. Air. So the U.S. Air thing. So I don't. He went and he's just pointing to the lady that tapped on her wrist that my coupons are in my bag. I got to get, and that was it. She had him arrested for assault and battery. So nobody, without anybody staying, they were waiting at the gate in Pittsburgh. They were waiting at the gate in Pittsburgh, and boom, on went the cuffs, and away he went to the police station to be booked and everything else. So they did that, and then it turned out that Jim proved everything, that he didn't do anything, that he never harassed the stewardess, and she made any, and the cops were overzealous, and anyway he settled for $100,000, over 100 grand, I forget, 175, something like that. So he said so being Jim Neidhart, and I don't know what his tax situations were. He carried it around in a suitcase, in a brief. He didn't put it in the bank, or I wasn't there. I think I was already out, but he carried it around in a briefcase up from town to town. He carried it in a briefcase. And if I'm not mistaken, Vince wanted his piece of it because everybody was supposed to kick back, whatever you made. But and he didn't want to kick that because this was a lawsuit,
Well, it was a
even the
loan.
government.
It was a loan. Vince McMahon actually loaned him the legal fees.
Was it what? Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know the intricacies of that. But I know that Vince wanted money out of the thing, out of the settlement. So maybe it was from a loan.
Mm.
But anyway, he carried that money around with him for I don't know how long, and that was pretty much the money thing.
Is that not an issue? I don't know American law very well, obviously, but isn't that an issue carrying that much money over state lines?
Not state lines, but federal.
Mm.
Why anybody would do that is beyond me. Misplaced. You handcuff it to yourself. Cut your arm out.
Do you know who, or if anyone that Jim was traveling with, like who backed him up in court? Do you know who was like party to the incident?
I think they were the Hart Foundation at the time. They were a tag team, and Brett was. I don't know if Brett made it to the arena to tell what's happening, or I don't remember. I just remember hearing that Neidhart got picked up at the airport for assaulting the flight attendant, and then later on, well, I was still there for a good part of it, and then just later on that he had, as it took a while, as months went on, that he'd settled and had the money, and I guess by the time he had the money, I was pretty much on the way out. That's when he was carrying the money around from town to town.
So
allegedly.
Allegedly.